Hi everyone. Hopefully this should be the final video in my show and tell from my DVD collection. I'll continue with my music films. Queen's live at Wembley Stadium. As I said before, this is my favorite Queen DVD. Freddie Mercury just knows how to completely captivate a crowd. There's a lot of sections where he gets the crowd to participate in the songs, and one in particular where he'll just do some vocal, I don't know if I'd call it exercises, but he'll just he'll sing some melodies and then the crowd would repeat it right after him, and it's just incredible to see like a whole stadium of people pretty much in the palm of his hand. And of course the rest of the band is great too. Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon. They're all great. And it's not really Queen without all four members. Some of my favorite songs probably from this would be, let's see, In the Lap of the Gods. That was really good. Love of My Life. The Brighton Rock solo is great. Brian May is one of my favorite guitarists. I was lucky enough to see the Queen and Paul Rodgers tour back in 2006, and I was a couple of feet away from Brian May when he was doing his guitar solo. It's just so great. Yeah, they do a lot of, they do a couple covers. They do Tutti Frutti, Hello Mary Lou, Baby I Don't Care. Yeah, it's a great concert film. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. Freddie Mercury just had one of the most incredible stage presences of any rock musician I've ever seen. This is live in Japan, and the quality on this isn't that good. I think it's like a bootleg. I'm not entirely sure it's really fully authorized. And I haven't watched the whole thing because I don't know, I think the quality kind of put me off. But this was the Works tour, I think. The DVD of Montreal. I got this before I got the Blu-ray. And this one doesn't have Live Aid, so I really don't even need this, but never know, I might be, my computer doesn't have a Blu-ray player, so I might want to bring it with me somewhere or something. And I'm a collector, so, I mean, I definitely don't have a problem with having different versions of things. And my last Queen DVD, Queen on Fire, Live at the Bowl. Now, I remember seeing this the same day I got the Wembley DVD, and I was debating which one to get, because this one had a couple songs I really liked. It has Dragon Attack, I think. Yeah, it has Dragon Attack, Flash. That album is really bad, but I do like that song. Um, a lot of songs from Hot Space, Under Pressure, Action This Day, Staying Power, Backchat, etc. And it's a good concert, but it's not as good as Wembley. And I know I keep comparing it to Wembley, but I think that's one of the best concert films. So it's kind of hard to stack up against that. But it's still very good. This is Fleetwood Mac live in Boston from 2003, I think, or maybe 2004. It's from their Say You Will tour. It has some pretty good songs on it. It's not as good as The Dance, but the set list on this has a couple songs that weren't included on the Dance tour, such as Beautiful Child, which is an absolutely beautiful song, no pun intended, but yes, that's definitely one of my favorite songs from Tusk, and Stevie does it beautifully. And the Say You Will songs are very good too. Also, this one has Gypsy, which I don't think was on The Dance. I could be wrong, but I don't remember it being on there. Although it must be. It's one of their bigger songs, but I can't remember. And World Turning too. I don't think World Turning was on The Dance. Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion 2, World Tour 1992 in Tokyo. I don't know, I'm not really a big Guns N' Roses fan, to be honest. Axl Rose is a big jerk. And, I mean, Slash is okay, but I don't think he's really that great of a guitarist. Appetite for Destruction is a very good album, but Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 were just kind of, I mean, they had some really good moments, and then a lot of mediocrity. Michael Jackson's This Is It. This is a great film. I saw it in the theaters when it came out, and it's really cool to know that, well, cool and sad to know that Michael Jackson was pretty much gonna make a great comeback. I mean, watching his performances in the practices where they just showed that he still had a lot to give to the music world. Sadly, he passed away, but I don't think his efforts went to waste, because now we have this DVD which shows how much effort he put into his concerts, and I mean, he still sounded great. His dancing was still top notch. So okay. I won't show you what that note is. That was a note that was meant for one of my old roommates, so I didn't like. I don't know what that was doing in there. That's funny. Okay. I got this live in Bucharest after This Is It came out, because I liked Michael Jackson before that, but I never really watched any of his performances. So I was really captivated by that movie, and I wanted to see some of his actual live footage. And this is great. One of my big problems with it is that he doesn't sing a lot of the times. But I mean, that's understandable because he's doing all his dance routines and everything. And if he felt that his singing would take a big hit while trying to do both, then I respect his decision to use backing tracks. Because he does sing on probably like half of the songs, but the songs that are more intense in the dance routines usually will lip sync or only sing parts of the song. It's still very good. It's crazy to see how much his fans loved it. Fleetwood Mac's The Dance. This is another one of my favorite concert films. Before this, Fleetwood Mac had broken up following Tango in the Night. They hadn't really broken up. They were still a band, but Stevie and Lindsay weren't in the band. Lindsay left right after Tango in the Night, and Stevie left after Behind the Mask, which wasn't very good of an album. But they came back for, I think it was this one performance, but the reception they got from it was so good that I believe they extended it to a whole tour, unless they were planning on doing a whole tour from the beginning. But they did tour, and this performance is great. Lindsey Buckingham in particular really shines here. As I said earlier, he is an incredible acoustic guitar player, and two of the songs on here, Big Love and Go Insane, whenever I see these performances, I get goosebumps. It sounds like he's playing 3 guitars, but he's doing it all with one, and it's just ridiculous. I really don't know, I'm speechless when I watch it. So if you haven't seen this this concert, I definitely recommend that you at least check out those 2 songs, Big Love and Go Insane, off of The Dance. It should be on YouTube. I know they used to be. I don't know if they got taken off for copyright infringement or anything. But it also has some other great songs. I'm So Afraid, Silver Springs, Tusk, which they play with an orchestra. This one does have Gypsy. And they debuted a new song, or 2 new songs actually, Temporary One and Bleed to Love Her. And Bleed to Love Her was later included on Say You Will in 2003, and this came out in 97, I think, so a couple years before. Aerosmith, You Gotta Move. I really don't like this one. When this came out, I was really big into Aerosmith. They were my favorite band. And I was so incredibly disappointed when I watched this. First of all, it has the MTV effect, where they have a new shot every 2 seconds, and it's the most annoying thing ever. they don't really focus on like anything important that's going on in the music or the performance, and it's just a bunch of jump cuts. It's really annoying. I can't even watch it for that reason. I don't think I've ever watched the whole thing. I mean, the performances are okay, I guess, but I really just don't even want to watch it. And it was really disappointing because at that time I think that was the only DVD out they had, and it might still be the only DVD really. Live, I mean. And this is Making a Pump. It's pretty cool. They showed the recording sessions for Pump, which is a good album. Definitely the best album Aerosmith recorded after probably Night in the Ruts. Transatlantic, the official bootleg DVD. I bought this at the Transatlantic show in New York in 2010, I think. Maybe 2011, I think it was 2010. Yeah, it's a lot of homemade footage. It's not professionally done. It's like probably their roadie or whoever just recording with handheld camera. So the quality isn't very good, but they're a great prog band. I don't really listen to them that much because all of their songs are like over 20 minutes. They have 3 albums and I think 11 songs, and only like 2 or 3 of them are under like 7 minutes. So it is kind of hard to get into, and I have to really be in the mood for long, self-indulgent music. But they're very good performers. And it had Mike Portnoy and Neil Morse and Stolt from Flower Kings and Trey Wallace. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right. He was from Marillion, I believe. Dream Theater, Chaos in Motion. I don't like this one either. It's from their Chaos in Motion tour for Systematic Chaos, but instead of putting the money into doing like a nice presentation, they just use a lot of homemade footage from various shows, and the performances and the video quality vary. James LaBrie sounds really bad on this, and some songs he sounds like Homestar Runner, or Homstar from Homestar. I won't do the impersonation because that would not be relaxing, but he just sounds very, he uses too much vibrato. It just doesn't sound very good. Now this, on the other hand, Score. I think this is probably another one of my favorite concert films. I don't listen to Dream Theater too much anymore, but this performance is top-notch. They played for the second half of the show with an orchestra, and Octavarium is just probably one of the best live songs I've seen. It's 24 minutes long, and really intense. And they also did a lot of they did all those 6 degrees of inner turbulence with an orchestra, all like 43 minutes or whatever. And it's very good. I have 2 of their official bootlegs. The Santiago show from 2005 and the When Dream and Day Reunite show. For this, they did all of their first album, When Dream and Day Unite. And they were joined by Derek Sherinian and Charlie Dominici for the encore. And it's okay. It's not that great of an album, but it's kind of cool to see that. And this was from the same tour as the Score DVD. A similar set list, not the exact same, but I think Score is better overall. It's still a good show, but Lada Budokan. It's probably the best looking of the Dream Theater DVDs. And I believe this actually was recently released on Blu-ray, but I wasn't a big fan of this show. For me, Dream Theater can either be really good live or mediocre. And a lot of that depends on James LaBrie, their singer. And he wasn't really on this night. His voice didn't sound too good. But they have some pretty good songs on here. They have the Instrumentally, which had, let's see, what songs were on that? I think they had the Yitzy Jam, can't remember. Oh, it might have had Dance of Eternity. Hell's Kitchen, maybe. I think it was mostly like their instrumental songs up until that point. Trial of Tears and Millennium. Only a Matter of Time, which is from the debut album. Disappear. That's a really good performance. That's probably my favorite Dream Theater song, because I do like prog music, but I feel that a lot of their music doesn't really progress. It doesn't really go anywhere. A lot of times it's just like they like come up with a cool riff and then they just kind of noodle around. And I mean, that worked for a while, but all of their albums have become like that, and I don't know, they lost their charm after a year for me. Like, as you can tell from all my DVDs, I used to really love them. And some of their albums I still really like Images and Words and Scenes from Memory. But overall, they just, I don't know, they used to be my favorite band, but they lost a lot of ground after a year or so of listening to them. And now I very rarely listen to them. Not like trying to hate on them or anything. I still appreciate them. And, you know, when I'm in the right mood for it, I'll definitely put on one of their albums. But I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to speed this up a little bit. My last 2 Dream Theater DVDs are Scenes from Memory, Metropolis 2000. This one is really good. they do all of the Scenes from Memory album, plus an encore, I think. I can't remember what's on the encore. Metropolis and maybe another thing. But I really hate like how bands do stupid stuff. They put a lot of weird effects, weird filters, and they also did a really crappy job of trying to film the story. It's a concept album. They try to like use actors to show parts of the story, and it just looks so dumb. It's like horribly done. It's kind of funny, but it takes away from the concert experience. And this is two films in one. Images and Words Live in Tokyo, and 5 Years in a Lifetime. And the Tokyo show is great. James Labrie sounds really good there. And then 5 Years in a Lifetime is just basically different performances they did from 1994 and 98. Some pretty cool stuff there. I'm running out of time, so I gotta speed this up real quick. Okay. Dave Matthews Band, live at Piedmont Park. It's a very good performance. Insurgentes, which is Steven Wilson. It's the documentary from the album he did, Insurgentes. And it's very weird, but pretty cool. I learned a lot about Steve Wilson from it. He's a very private guy, so it was cool to see more about him. I'll show you real quick. This has like the digibook thing too. It's beautiful. Lots of pages. Really weird artwork. Okay. Now, the last part. I have my Elton John DVDs. I have 4 of them. It's the Dream Ticket, which has shows from Madison Square Garden, Royal Opera House, Great Amphitheater, and then a compilation disc of different music videos and live performances from his whole career until this point. And the Great Amphitheater show is really good. It's one of his solo shows, and beautiful performance. He also did one with an orchestra and then a Greatest Hits show. I'm not a big fan of the Greatest Hits. I like more of his album cuts. It's a documentary on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which is really insightful. And they did a really good tribute to Elton John's band, who did a lot of the vocal harmonies, which are really beautiful. And then live in Barcelona and live in Australia, which has a orchestra. Alright, thank you guys for watching.